From like a cash perspective, it's got to be pretty tight.
I only have $1,000 in my bank account, and I was like, oh man.
And all of a sudden you get audited, and now you owe $1 million.
If I can't pay it, I'm not gonna be in business anymore.
15,000? We just wiped out all your profits. No workers' comp, no payroll tax, just don't hire people. Why are you not taking them for a tune-up? I don't want the buyers to see this list. And honestly, we don't even want to sell this roof. Who cares? You will get tons of business. Who cares if we get it? You're selling insurance, and that's a good business model.
I'm here to turn around this roofing business because their revenue has halved in the past 2 years.
Ooh, very nice for truckies.
The destination is on your left. TopDogs Roofing and
TopDogs Roofing and Sheet Metal. I'm parking in the no parking spot.
Arrived.
Okay. The new dog's in town. All right, where are we going? The office. I like that. That is a good sign. I'm guessing I'm not. How's it going? Good to see you guys. Mike, what's your name?
Eduardo.
Eduardo?
Yes, sir.
Victor? Good to see you.
Good morning.
What's your name?
Steven.
Steven and?
Gilbert.
Gilbert.
I guess I was kind of fanning a bit, but yeah, I was kind of nervous for it, to meet him, yeah. Still am right now a little bit.
Great, so okay, so what's the relationship? Is it all brothers or what?
Yeah, all brothers and cousins right here.
Cousin, okay, so, and then is it all 25, 25, 25, 25?
Mm-hmm.
So what's kind of the role of each person then?
I do manage most everything. I'm here, there, like check everything, make sure everything's good. He does most of the marketing, same thing. When he does sales and a little bit of marketing, but he's out there. He just answers the phone calls right now.
Got it. And then for the work being done, do you sub it mostly out, or do you guys do that so as well?
We do sub it out, but we do most of the work also. Like I said, I'm always up there for repairs. We actually did roof before. We all shingled before. We all been on the roof. That's how we started actually.
Cool.
All of us basically started in the field at the same time. As soon as we got out of high school, we started working with our brothers, and then we just decided to take it a step further, basically.
It's all business, nothing personal. After that, we hang out, what to eat, stuff like that. And any issues, we always talk about it. But 8 to 5, all business, it doesn't matter. We're not family here, so. So
like if someone wants a new roof or like a brand new one, you guys would sub that out, but then you're mostly doing repairs on your own.
Yeah, everything's in-house, everything else after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions about how a roofing company actually operates. However, there's a lot of similarities when it comes to comparing different home service industries. The team from TopDogs obviously reached out to me for a reason, and so really my first question is, where's the money? And what's the most profitable service for their business?
So if you look at the business from a revenue perspective, what percentage of it kind of comes from the repair side versus installs and the sub out?
Okay, so most of them, we get more money from repairs because we get left over from the full roofs. I mean, nails, all of that stuff. I mean, we get left over. So we don't got to pay anything for repairs. We don't pay anything.
Got it.
So on full roofs, we do make more. It covers most of everything expenses. When we do the repairs, that's when it covers most of just plain profits after that.
Got it.
Yeah.
And is those repairs mostly like a leak, or are we talking like a new roof that someone messed up on?
They're usually leaks, squirrels messing up the roof. I mean, a tree branch fell, missing shingles because of the wind, just a few little shingles.
So you like storms?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It depends. I don't pay for it, but if it do comes, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I don't really pray on that.
Yeah.
Here we're in a storm market.
Right.
So there's storms every 3 years, but I don't want to rely on storms because of what happens around this area. Is storm happens, a lot of people come in, build their business up. They feel like their expenses so high, like buying new trucks, everything,
Yeah.
Once the storm goes away, which is happening right now, then they have so much expenses, then they go out of business.
Eduardo is smart enough to realize that he shouldn't put all the eggs into the basket of counting on a storm happening every year. But he's having a cash problem, so I want to dig deeper and look around the shop and see how much cash is wrapped up into the assets and the inventory sitting around their shop.
The nice thing about not doing the new stuff is you don't have to have as much inventory.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like just relatively small amount of materials on hand.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you mostly use this thing back in the day when you're doing more of the new installs?
We were doing more new installs. We were using, when we do metal roofing, because we do metal roofing too.
Yeah.
So,
oh, you gotta put all the sheets on there.
Yeah, so sometimes the sheets are like 30. This one's a 25 footer right here.
Okay.
And like where we buy our metal, they usually deliver it for us, but they're charging like $300 just to deliver.
Oh my word.
And on top of that, the guys gotta take it off like on the same spot. As soon as it's there, take it off, or they get mad.
Got it. And then you have a whole bunch of leftover. You have to put it back.
So on this one, I just we put it here, park it at the homeowner's house, and leave it there for the couple of days that they're gonna be using it.
Got it.
So that way I don't gotta worry about that. So on top of that, I mean, it was a really good deal that I bought it for.
So on a new install, let's say it's a $15,000 job, break down the cost for me on subcontracted labor, cost of materials. What does that kind of look like?
Yeah, I can show you on the
whiteboard. Okay, cool, let's do it. Right, sweet. Is most of your roofs asphalt around here, or like half and half between metal and that, and like some?
We were starting to do a lot of metal, but the problem was that after COVID, the prices just went like super high.
Really?
And right now, like it should be so cheap. Now it's just double.
Really?
Compared to shingles.
Huh.
Like if on this roof, it's a 30 square roof. If we were to do it with shingles, like 13,000. We do it with metal around 20,000.
Wow.
So I mean, some people are just choosing shingles instead. So.
Got it.
So for a 30 square roof, I usually just on materials, it's costing us around 200 per square. So
okay.
Usually it's like 170, 180, but I just
got it. So 6,000 in just the roofing.
So we usually pay our subs on this one. It depends on the pitch and also that. So I pay them $75. I would pay them $75, but I usually put 80.
It's like an hour per sheet?
Yeah. So that would be, I'll pay him this $2,400 that day when he finished the job.
Okay.
And then that's the materials, the labor. So we kind of figured out our average. I divided my whole month expenses, like everything that is subscription, not everything else that comes like a tire popping. I do not count that in. But if it's like a subscription or payroll, I added all that up, and then I divided by how many roofs we do those months, and we came out with this number actually. Okay. So I usually just add that.
For overhead recovery?
Yeah, just in case or anything like that.
Okay. So, and is that just a flat number for any new roof then?
Yeah. Okay. That's what I divided that by the number we did roof, or we should do like 2 roof a week. That's a very minimal.
Right.
But if it's 3, I usually just lower it down a little bit.
Okay. So overhead recovery, $1,600 basically per new roof.
Yeah, per new roof.
Okay.
Plus that.
So then you're looking at like 1008.
Yeah. After that, either depends on how we want to do it. If the customer thinks it's too expensive, we lower it down. But we usually run around 20% profit on this one. Okay. So I would do it 20%.
So you're using more like cost plus. So it's like, hey, take my cost. I'm gonna add 20%. That's my markup.
Yeah. So on this one, like I said, it will cost around 12,000. 09.6 comes out. But if it's a salesman or anybody else that they think they could probably sell it more, they just add a little bit more on that. But this is what it would cost us basically to do that roof.
Got it.
What's the extra there?
Okay. Okay. So what's happened, like for example, in July is essentially like very few, if any, of those came in. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So when you look at July, there was like 25,000 in revenue. Was that 100% maintenance and repairs, and there was no new roofs that month?
It was mostly repairs, yeah.
Got it.
Most major repairs, like I said, some repairs they average sometimes like 5,000, 6,000. Like this week we did one like it was around $3,000.
Got it.
A couple repairs.
And you guys cover all that labor in that scenario?
Yeah, we do most of it there. Yeah, because they're simple. Like I said, replacing the plywood, take it off, put it back on.
Got it.
Problem there.
Our prices are a little high. Well, you know, roofing, it's expensive. The main concern for the customer is mainly the pricing, and some of them, I've heard some curse words before. Like when I tell them the price, because sometimes they ask for a quick price, and I shoot it out to them, and they're like, "Damn," or you know, they overreact a little bit. I can agree, the price is pretty high, but it is your roof at the end of the day.
Right now is like the bottleneck you feel getting more leads?
Kind of slow down a little bit. The problem we have kind of is about the leads coming in.
Okay.
I mean, we're doing everything we can online.
I saw door hangers,
Yeah,
let's go,
yeah,
knocking on doors, walking down the road.
Yeah.
It's Victor from TopDogs Roofing here. Today we're out in the Sherwood area / Broadmoor area giving out free inspection.
It's very competitive here, very, very. Like, there's so many roofers here, like a lot. I'm talking about a lot. Yeah.
With their revenue declining, I'm curious if they're looking in the wrong spot for new customers. I'm not a roofing expert, but I might be able to help pinpoint exactly where their lead problem is and get them out of this downward spiral of revenue.
If you're doing door hangers, what's kind of your strategy on that? Are you doing a custom price? Or what are you looking for exactly?
Well, we have one that's basically got leaks and core on the back.
Yeah.
But this one's mostly for roof tune-up. Basically, it's like a quick repair estimate.
Yeah.
So we only do $199.
Okay.
And then we will just reseal the pipe, repair any missing shingles, but just a couple, not a lot. Of course, it'll be a different price.
Right.
And then re-nail.
How often do you get these tune-ups?
We usually do a lot of those, mostly for real estate agents, people selling their houses. That's everything we do roof tune-up. It's a full report of the condition of their roof. So sometimes they turn to a full roof, and every now and then it might be a bigger repair. Yeah.
What's the kind of the result of the marketing? Is it mostly new roofing or is it the repairs?
We don't do new roofing. We do full roof replacement, but right now it's just mostly repairs that we've been doing. Like, like I said, I don't know, because we were doing roof like 3-4 roof a week before. Like,
new ones?
Like
oh my
full
word.
ones. Like we were doing full ones, and like after July, kind of stopped. You know.
I was gonna say July, like so. I was looking at the revenue, so it was like, and then July just dropped. Is that just because there was like no storms or what?
Well, we haven't had a storm like in 2 years.
Right.
Since 2021.
Okay.
But after that, it's just like I said, it's just random. Well, we haven't had any rain also. One of the, like we were thinking about that.
So leaks, they don't know if there's a leak.
Yeah, so I kind of figure we talk every time, like every Monday, and we like feel like if I were to have a leak, you know, and there's no rain for 2 months, you know, I probably won't worry about it now. But you know, so right now, people, I'm pretty sure they're putting it off.
So last year was 670. This year seems like it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think it's gonna be like 500 this year?
I'm pushing for that.
And you think mostly because just less new
roof, yeah. Because roof on full roofs are like
a lot of revenue.
Yeah, the ticket items are like $15,000.
Okay, got it.
So
got it.
Repairs is a little bit lower, yeah.
Got it. So when I looked at like last year, for example, we had 670 in revenue, very like relatively low profit, like 3,000. This year, do you think you'll actually be more profitable even though there's less revenue because now all repairs?
I mean, we're probably gonna have more or less, I think.
Right.
Well, it depends. Well, last year I feel like there was less because the insurance also came in and they just took it. Basically, workers' comp just.
I saw it was like 50,000.
Yeah.
Was that like a one-time bill or was that just like high?
It was a one-time bill. Like
brutal.
They checked my payrolls and everything.
Oh, and then they went back.
They went back and they were like, yeah, so we're gonna do this last year, and then we're gonna, on top of that, we're gonna put you this next year.
So is that just from doing 1099s prior to 2022?
Yeah. Taking the money out like that, it hit us, you know. When I first started, I always was like, I don't want to have too high expenses, so because you know there's days that's gonna come in where there's something's gonna happen and you need to be ready for it because you don't want to go out of business. So I always push the money aside every time. And so we were excited, you know, to have this much money in the bank account, you know, and so since that day we haven't been able to maintain and go higher again like after that.
TopDogs took a massive hit in their bank account because of an issue with how they were handling subcontractors and labor laws. And I'm going to dig into that later. However, first, I need to figure out how can we increase profit once we fix the lead problem? When we get more customers in, how then do we actually make them profitable?
I like the model, honestly, of doing the repairs because that's when I looked at your P&L, that was my concern, is like you have these high, like great months. I'm assuming in terms of revenue, that's when you're getting a new roof, or 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's when and then the repairs come in and that's when we make more. So
right, so it's a matter too of like, well, do we want to go for any new roofs? Like, is that something we even want to market? Or is it like, hey, we're just gonna market and like focus on roof repairs, that's all we focus on. And then if the new ones come in, we just sub those out, right? And like all of our energy should be spent on the thing that actually brings them profit. And so that way it's like, okay, yes, last year we had more revenue, and I know it's like sometimes just from a psychological standpoint, tough to take a down year. But if it's way more profitable, like who cares? So that was something I was thinking, is like trying to keep it more of a recurring model too, where you get more work throughout the year instead of like these high lows and highs and all the rest of it.
Their revenue has been super inconsistent. In my industry of lawn care, mowing customers are set up for every single week or every other week mowing service. That's recurring revenue. Whereas with the roofing customer, it's usually just a one-time sale. They're spending a lot on marketing towards the actual homeowners that have the roofs over their head. But I have a better strategy, I think, that could potentially get them a ton of customers without spending any money on marketing.
And so is most of your revenue coming from directly from the customers, or do you have like real estate agents, property managers, maintenance people? Like, who's your contacts? 'Cause I know you're going to a lot of door-to-door, etc.
Half and half, real estate and customers as well.
Have you reached out to property inspectors?
No.
I've only contacted for repairs roofing 3 times in my whole life. Every single one was when I was selling a piece of real estate. And it's because they come and do a property inspection and then they always find something wrong with the roof. And that's like your gold mine. And that is much more consistent than a storm, because every single time someone sells a house, they have to do a inspection. So I would really cultivate those relationships, because there's probably 10 people in your market that do 90% of the property inspections, right? All the guys that have been here for 20 years, they know every single builder, they know every single real estate agent. You just need them. So like when I would do my inspection, I would simply just ask the inspector, like, who do you recommend for the roof? Because their value to me as the seller is simply the fact that they have all those connections. So instead of trying to go after one by one, because the problem is, like, for example, when we do like a bush trimming job on the landscaping side, we maybe make $500. If I just did that only, and we went from one person to the next, and we never were able to resell them, the problem with you guys is, like, the hard part in this industry for repairs is you don't get repairs every 2-3 months. You don't get repairs every 2-3 years. It's like, you might never see that customer again. And that's tough to make sense of on a customer acquisition point of view. That's why spending money on marketing is tough when you're only making $300, $400, $500 and you're never seeing them again. Because if you spend $100, $200 in customer acquisition costs, we just wiped out all your profits. And so what you really gotta get is like a brand where people are calling you and you're not doing one-offs to each customer and like doing door hangers. Because door hangers works for like lawn care, going after like $40, $50 cuts, but I know I'm gonna get them 30 times a year and I can keep them for 5 years, right? And so now your lifetime value of the customer is really large. The lifetime value of your customer is much smaller, and so it's very hard to do one-off marketing like that. I like the model. I still think it's better to do maintenance, and that was really when I was looking at the P&L, it's like, to make this more stable, it is to focus on the repairs and the maintenance side of things, and I love the inspection side of things, because that will parlay with a home inspector and they'll love it. They'll just be like, hey, I'm gonna recommend you to every single seller. Because a lot of times this is what happens. So as someone that is selling a piece of real estate, the person on the ground, they'll be like, hey, it cost you an extra $200 for me to get on that roof as the inspector. Because like for an inspection, you might pay, $1,000. But what they'll tell me is they'll be like, hey, if I'm going under their house, it's an extra $200. If I go on the roof, extra $300. And so then I, as the seller, have to decide what I want them to do. I would rather, as the seller, have the inspector say, hey, I recommend TopDogs Roofing. They'll get on the top, and they'll actually, for $300 flat, seal everything, put the nails in, blah, blah, blah. And now you're not paying for me to have to get up there and just literally look around as the inspector.
To have a roofing contractor who knows how to walk this roof with the proper technique will probably be the best way to inspect this roof.
Because instead of going after thousands of homeowners, just go after those 10 guys that every single day, they are literally finding 10 leaks. And it's who is in their Rolodex is getting all the business for free. There's no customer, there's no spend in marketing whatsoever. So I would court them, date them, get them in this room, say hello, give them cookies, whatever you gotta do, because every single day they have 10 leads for you, every single day. I think you're a B2B business. Instead of trying to go directly to the customer, go to all the people that those customers are asking for advice. Property inspectors, their old contractor that built the house, 5 years go by, they built this house, they call their contractor, hey, I got a roof leak, can you come fix it? The guy's like, oh, I don't wanna do that. I'm building $2 million houses, forget this. He just calls you because they don't wanna fix that. This is not their world. $1,000 repair, you can make 50% margin on it. They can't because they have these massive trucks and trailers and overhead and W-2 employees and a bunch of materials and an inventory yard and all the rest of it. Real estate agents are okay, but typically they're just going to either of those two people and asking, what do I do? And so if you can get those guys locked in, you have everyone below them. And as a buyer of real estate, the number one thing you're concerned about is the roof. Because if the roof is bad, everything below it messes up in terms of leaks. And it's usually the inspectors are worst at inspecting the roof. And so if they can just be like, hey, as the inspector, I'm just gonna recommend every single person I do an inspection to these guys. Because I know they're actually gonna go like seal and put nails in the roof. Whereas I'm just gonna like, they usually will throw a drone up and be like, yeah, it looks nice, it looks great. And or they'll give me like a really rounded thing. Like, yeah, the roof has approximately 3 to 10 years lifespan.
Looks like it's in pretty good shape. You know, a metal roof of this quality should last for quite some time.
What in the world, right? So me as the buyer, I don't like that. I'm like, someone get on the roof, right? So you guys could really, really get in there, I think. Roof tune-ups, love it. Those are money. If you can just be on that list every single time as a recommendation, you will get tons of business. Because like, as a seller, I'm looking at this list and I'm like, okay, I don't want the buyers to see this list of like the recommendations. Like, the roof looks good, it has 3 to 10 years. Well, that's the buyer, I'm like, 3 years, that's horrible. I have to spend 20, 30 grand to fix my roof. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get you guys like immediately out there. So I would really, really lean into that. Property managers, inspectors, contractors. That scares me like crazy.
On the last episode, we went out and visited Jake from St. Laurent Property Maintenance and helped him turn around his business.
Not having money in a business is like running out of oxygen.
Just a few weeks later at Landscape Summit, we caught up with Michaela, his office manager, and this is what she said the progress has been since then.
How's things been?
Great.
Good.
It's made a lot of improvements. We've signed over 100K in new contracts in the last 2.5 weeks. So.
If your business is struggling and you're in home services, go to mikeandys.com/turnaround for a chance for me to come out, fly to your location, and help turn around your business. Oh, and the cost is exactly $0. It's completely free. So go to mikeandys.com/turnaround today. Now that we've established a plan to increase their leads and lower their customer acquisition cost, how much they have to spend to get another customer, I want to address something else. Because the very first thing customers see in your home service business is typically your website. If you don't have a store, like a retail store with a nice front facing to the road, that's fine. In a service-based business, the first thing they see is your website. We need to make sure that their new tune-up and repair strategy is actually shown on the website.
I thought you guys just do installs based upon the front end of the website. So let's take a look at that because I want to really see, can we hone it to where it's like people who come to you are like, oh, like they do property tune-up or like roof tune-ups, they do inspections, they give me an analysis based upon my roof. So you want to look at the site real quick? Sweet, let's do it. You guys do great with like the reviews, the branding is great, the social media is really good. Yeah. And again though, I think my biggest concern is that you are going after the end customer. And this game is won at the top. Yeah. It's a B2B, business to business, more of a transaction.
Yeah, this is it right here.
Sweet, sweet. So this is the part where I'm concerned. This is the only part in the entire website where it gives me any inclination of roof repairs, maintenance, etc. And that's where we make all of our money. So if I came here, I would potentially say, oh, I have a leak. I don't see anything on here about leaks. And yet that's where all of our money are coming from. We got, booking an estimate, we got shingle roof, metal roof, etc. And the quote thing, which I used last night, is great, but it's all for new roofs. Yeah. So you have quite a bit of room here, right? I would first off focus more on your brand. The TopDogs thing is great. This picture is like, this could be any roof in the world. Who cares? U4 sitting on the side of a truck that has TopDogs will crush versus this random roof. Because right now, if you think about it from a business to business perspective, yes, what's different about this whole business? There's one thing, and it's you. And the connections you make with the inspector, the contractor, etc. It is not a roof. Right? And honestly, we don't even want to sell this roof. We just want to sell that ridge cap is missing and we're gonna go spend 2 minutes and make 500 bucks. Because everyone else is showing a random roof too. Like, is this your picture? Yeah. Or is it a random one off of Google? Yeah, it's so I don't even know, right? As the customer, I'm like, okay, great. They took a picture off of Google, they threw this site together, they're gonna funnel me into this sales process to this instant quote thing and then sell my lead off to someone else. Because there's a ton of companies that do that. You guys are gonna prove, hey, first off, we're in Walker, we're local, born and raised, still working in Walker, Louisiana. Picture of you guys, they're like, great, local guys, I know the faces that are gonna be showing up at my property, and your trucks are your brand. Like, you just spend a bunch of money on them, might as well throw them all over this website, because that's what makes you different. That is like the distinguishing factor of this whole business, in my opinion, is like the brand is like actually really, really good.
TopDogs branding is top notch. And switching their focus to repairs and tune-ups should help the bottom line where all the real profitable services are. However, Eduardo brought up something earlier about an issue with the insurance and some of the labor issues with the subcontractors, and that fine almost broke the bank.
Insurance also came in and they just took it. Basically, workers' comp just.
I saw it was like 50,000.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's days that's gonna come in where there's something gonna happen and you need to be ready for it because you don't want to go out of business.
I want to dig a little bit deeper because I think this fine and penalty has put a massive chokehold on their cash position and their ability to grow the business.
What else is like just preventing the growth of the business outside of just leads?
I want to make money. That's the only reason why we got into this business, to make money.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I have profits and everything going in.
Okay, so talk to me through that. So last year we had this massive bill for, and is that what kind of convinced you, hey, we're not going to do employees because it's just too much liability and too much headache, so we're going to switch to subcontracting only?
Well, all the roofers, I looked online, I have talked to some people. Everybody does that, even the big ones, they're doing that. Sure, they got W-2 employees like secretaries.
So you're saying like kind of all the big players around here are playing like cash on the table, etc. They basically probably audited you and like, hey, you guys owe us workers' comp for like all this payroll.
Yeah, just on the past month we paid around $15,000 just on insurance.
15,000?
Yeah.
How much longer do you have to pay on that? Like another year?
Right now, I got like 5 more months on that.
In 2022, we did like 670. What was the year before in terms of revenue?
I think that one was around almost 900. That's because there was a storm that happened around that year. And
so you guys kind of, was that your first big jump? Like,
that was our first big jump because, like I said, for 2 years we were just doing anything.
Yep.
When the storm happened, that's when we were like, okay, we're just gonna do roofing for now.
So 900,000, 670, probably 500 this year.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay.
So it went down this year, and we're looking to bring it.
So obviously the storm crushed it in 2021.
Yeah.
2022, we kind of got hit because we had massive tax liability from workers' comp. This year, we're still kind of paying for that.
Yeah.
Probably hindering the growth because you just don't have the cash for that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So 5 more months of that. Yeah, I'd try to get away from, like in this industry, you can do it pretty easily. And that is like, especially with 4 of you all being owners, you don't have to do workers' comp. I'd get rid of it.
Okay.
Just 1099 every single person. And they are not employees. They do not wear TopDog stuff. Like that's a big thing. What did they nail you for? Was it wearing uniforms?
No. It's just regular payroll. That's
really?
it.
Yeah.
They don't have insurance, so we have to pay their insurance.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
Did you have to change your subs?
No, I'm not. We planned on it. We're looking. So far right now, we haven't done any. We haven't used them too much, but yeah, that's what's going on.
Got it. So they came back at you because they aren't insured and all the rest of it.
What happened. Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's where it's like, hey, let's just really focus on repairs. You guys don't have to worry about W-2 stuff. You don't have to worry about all of that drama. And you can focus on like building relationships instead of going after low margin stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes it sounds really good to do subcontracting and not have to do any work and make money. However, if the subcontractors that you hire don't have everything lined up, all their ducks in a row in terms of licensing, insurance, and workers' compensation, it could potentially fall back on you as the general contractor. That's something to be very careful of, and it came back to bite TopDogs.
So I think like that's the way the biz should go. I know it's probably what, the big bump in 2021 when you had a storm, like that is awesome. When you're like, oh, 900,000. I imagine you're like, next year we're gonna do 2 million. The year after that, we're gonna do 4 million. Like,
that was the plan,
Right.
Things didn't work out.
Yeah, but I think in the long run, it's probably the best thing because otherwise you build a $5 million business off of new roofs, and all of a sudden you get audited, and now you owe $1 million. And I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's like, okay, well, at $5 million, now would you have to come back all the way down to $1 million because you realize that like you can't compete and make any margin on new roofs?
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot more painful because a $5 million operation looks a lot different.
Yeah.
Now it's time to create a plan that will put them on the map as the top dog in town for roof repair.
Literally scrub Google for every property manager, every contractor, and every inspector in this area. You're gonna have like 40 or 50 total. Put them all into your database. Take their email, take their phone number, take their name. Guess what? They're all over the internet because they're business to business. That's the easy part about business to business. You're not like going house to house. You have their name, you have their contact information. They're blasting it all over the internet. Take all of that and put it into your database. But better yet, put it in like MailChimp. MailChimp is like a gazillion. Like MailChimp is the one that first comes to mind. Because you can mass email people, make a really good looking email, but send it to 300 people in a second. And then just make a weekly post email to them. Basically think of it like this. Every day we create one short form piece of content, a minute or less, and it's going to be exactly what I said, a 3-cut video of, we're in Walker, here's this house, this is the problem, here's my solution, here's the finished product. That's like the roadmap for every single piece of content. Let's say you now have 4 or 5 of those in a week. You're gonna compile the best 1 or 2 of those and make an email. And that email is gonna go through the entire list. There's gonna be a little blurb about it. And it's gonna say, this is what the cost of the project was, this is what was wrong with it. And maybe you, in the perfect world, get like a review from the customer or a little blurb from them, etc. Nail it. Like at the end of each of those videos, you're able to go with the customer and be like, hey, this is Bob, we just finished the project, woohoo. In like 3 seconds, at the very end of each video, you'll nail that. It's like a 4-piece kind of cut. You take those and you take the best couple and you make an email every single week. And every single week they just expect how to fix this, how to fix that. I don't even know the terminology, but like that's what's going to prove that you guys have the knowledge that those business owners can rely on and give your name out. So I'd really number one, change the brand side and then really lean into repairs and the leaks and your tune-ups. The tune-ups is gold.
The hard part is gonna be mostly focused on our main points into roof tune-up, you know, because the big numbers, but I see where he's coming from. The more roof tune-up we get, the more profit we'll see, basically.
I know the big projects, like selling new roofs, is really attractive and it helps boost the top line revenue. But I really believe that roof tune-ups, repairs, and creating a consistent source of revenue for Top Dogs is the best way to grow their business. Now they're gonna be able to serve more customers more often. Also, getting their name out to contractors, inspectors, and property managers will help lower the amount of money that they're spending on marketing right now. Ultimately, that will grow the bottom line.
So something like this, say you get up here, you're doing an inspection, you see just this, that's probably gonna cover it in a tune-up, right?
Yeah, $199, yeah, that'll be it. We just either put a new shingle there, seal it up, and reseal all the pipes, take pictures of it, and give them a full report of the roof.
Got it.
Age and everything.
Do you have your cell phone on you? Let's do our first short. I'm the customer. You are the estimator. You're gonna say something along the lines of, when we come here and do a $199 tune-up on your property, this is the type of thing that we find. What could this potentially cause? And you're like, this could cause a leak. This could cause far more damage in your property. This is why we come and do a $199 fix on your roof instead of you spending $20,000 on all the damages below it. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
You ready? I'm gonna pretend like I'm kind of the customer and just kind of like, you're educating me on why this is important, as well as maybe like other things that sometimes in a tune-up would pop up. Okay. We're doing this in 60 seconds or less.
Okay, I got it.
All right.
Hey guys, Victor from TopDogs Roofing here. I came to check out this roof and I noticed this.
And I'm pretty sure this is where the leak issue is coming from.
All the water is going into that specific spot and it's causing some unexpected leak issue around all this area.
So there about some leaking issues with this roof.
Now let me go ahead and explain what a roof tune-up is. So the reason why you want to get a roof tune-up yearly is because of this.
And this also includes a full roof report.
Don't miss out on this game-changing opportunity.
Give us a call today at 225-305-0495
or visit our website at topdogroofing.com for more information.
That's the type of video that we gotta make, like more of those. You guys on the roofs talking about the repairs. Like I would take this tab up, I'd move it up, I would show you fixing it. And they're like, dude, $199, I haven't been on my roof in 5 years. Who knows what's up there? Like let's do for like 1 or 2 new roof repairs a day and really focusing on them bringing us leads. The long term, when you're saying getting 10 of these leads a day, is I would really push for, instead of trying to do it in person, say, hey, we're gonna show up at your property, we're gonna make you a video of what your roof looks like, and we're gonna literally take pictures and detail it and send you a video afterwards. Yeah. And that is scalable, because now you're not trying to book 4 or 5 of those in a day, you can do 20 of those. Okay. You know, you're gonna hop on here, okay, bam, I'm gonna talk about that, I'm gonna talk about resealing this, I'm gonna do it real quick, and I'm gonna make a video for the customer, and they're like, oh my word, they came to my house, they did all this shingle work, they resealed everything. Like, that's insurance, that's what you're selling, right? And when you switch from installing shingles to doing repairs, you're selling the insurance and the feeling to them that, okay, that's not gonna cause a $50,000 repair on my house. That's gonna protect my house. That's gonna protect my family and all the rest of it. You're selling insurance, and that's a good business model. It's really clear to me. It's like, let's focus on what no one else is doing. We make all of our money there, and guess what? We don't have to get employees. And once we get this 5 months behind us in terms of the tax bill, like, just don't hire people. Just focus on your stuff, and then if you get 1099 for a roof install that comes in, mark it up 10% just because you know that you might be on the bill, you know, because they're not doing their taxes correctly, right? But you just will have to re-engineer the whole brand around like the repairs, the maintenance. If you're closing 70, 80% of them, and then probably upselling them all into $1,000, $2,000 repairs, just focus on that. That's where the money's at. And then from a marketing perspective, just focus on those 3 avatars and go all in on it, right? You'll increase your lead count massively, because right now, there's no one just like randomly, hey, so-and-so needs an estimate. So, hey, one of my 500 properties I manage as a property manager, they said there's a leak. Can you go check it out? I don't want to go there. I'm not a property manager. I'm a contractor. I don't want to go back to a house I built 10 years ago and get on the roof. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to call and just give everything to you. So just build those relationships.
The guys from TopDogs have been in quite the roller coaster over the past few years. It hasn't been necessarily fun or easy, but I do believe if they implement the things that we talked about today in terms of marketing and focusing their service offerings, they can absolutely continue to grow the business and make it more profitable. If your business is struggling like TopDogs, it doesn't have to be roofing, lawn care, landscaping, fencing, cleaning, anything around the home. I would love to come and help you turn your business around, make more money, and ensure you get back on the road to profitability. Again, it doesn't cost you a single penny. Apply today! Go to mycandies.com/turnaround. Roof, roof, Top Dog. Oh, man.